You know, one of the most telling signs that a woman is falling for you deeply, genuinely, is when she starts prioritizing your happiness. And I don't mean in some dramatic, over the top way. It's usually subtle. It's in those small, seemingly insignificant moments that most people overlook, but they speak volumes. When a woman loves you, your joy becomes her joy. Your struggles become something she carries with you, not because she has to, but because she wants to. She starts noticing the things that affect your mood. She pays attention when you've had a rough day, even if you try to hide it. Maybe you're the type who bottles things up, doesn't talk much about stress, or you think you're being strong by pushing through. But she sees it. And instead of waiting for you to spell it out, she does something thoughtful. She gives you space when you need it, or she draws closer when she senses you need comfort. Maybe she surprises you with your favorite meal, sends you a message that hits right at the heart when you're least expecting it, or just sits with you in silence because she knows that's what you need most in that moment. That level of attunement, it's not random, it's love. See, when someone is just casually dating or not emotionally invested, they're not tuning in to you like that. They might care to a degree, but there's a difference between surface level interest and emotional priority. When a woman is in love, you start to feel like a part of her world that matters, not just something she makes time for when it's convenient, but something she chooses again and again, day after day. And here's what's powerful. She'll do this even when it's inconvenient for her. That's a big one. You'll notice she makes sacrifices without even making a big deal out of it. She rearranges her schedule to spend time with you. She listens to you vent about work or life, even when she's had a long day herself. She's not doing it to earn points or because she expects something in return. She does it because your happiness genuinely impacts her own. There's also a noticeable shift in the way she celebrates your wins. If she lights up when you succeed, if your victories feel like her victories, that's not just support, that's love. That's someone who's emotionally invested in your growth, your fulfillment, and your joy. She's proud of you, even for the little things. You might brush something off as no big deal, like fixing something in the house, finishing a tough project, or taking a small risk, but she sees the effort, and she acknowledges it. That recognition feels different when it comes from someone who's truly in love. And you know what else? She's patient with you. Love shows up in patience. Maybe you're still figuring things out. Maybe you've made mistakes. Maybe you don't always communicate perfectly. But if she's in love, she gives you room to be human. She doesn't give up on you easily. She tries to understand where you're coming from, even if she doesn't always agree. She looks for resolution, not just to be right. Because being in love means wanting the relationship to thrive, not just winning an argument. Sometimes love looks like simple consistency. She checks in on you, not just when it's obvious, but randomly. She remembers important dates, encourages you to rest when you've been pushing too hard, and reminds you to take care of yourself. It's these small acts repeated over time that tell you she sees you. She's thinking of you even when you're not around. You're on her mind, not as an afterthought, but as someone who matters. This kind of attentiveness is powerful because it comes from a place of genuine care, not obligation, not performance, but love. You feel safe. You feel considered. You feel like you have a partner who's not just watching from the sidelines, but standing with you, especially when you don't have all the answers. That's the thing. When she starts prioritizing your happiness, she's not trying to control your life or fix all your problems. She just wants to walk with you through it. To be someone who brings you peace, not pressure. Someone who adds light to your life, not noise. And when you feel that difference, when you feel that calm in her presence, that's when you know. That's when it's real. She's not loving you because you're trying to get something out of it. She's loving you because you matter to her. And that is one of the clearest, most undeniable signs that she's in love with you. That's when you realize it's not about what she says, it's what she shows. Another undeniable sign that she's in love with you is when she starts including you in her future. And I don't mean it in some abstract or hypothetical way. It's real, it's practical. It's in the details of how she talks, how she plans, how she sees what's ahead. You start noticing that the language shifts from I to we, from me to us. And it happens naturally, not in a forced or strategic way, but in a way that reflects how she actually feels about your place in her life. She talks about vacations, not with the phrase, I want to go to Italy someday, but we should go to Italy one day. It might seem like a small change, but it's a major shift in emotional perspective. She's not just dreaming about her own life, she's imagining a shared life. Somewhere you're right there beside her. That's love speaking. When a woman sees a future with you, it shows in how she makes plans, both big and small. She might talk about moving to a new city for work and say something like, would you be open to that too? Or she'll casually drop in things like, when we get a place together, or one day when we have kids. These aren't accidental phrases. They're glimpses into how she truly feels. They tell you that she's not just passing time with you, she's investing, she's building, she's thinking long term. What's even more telling is when she factors you into decisions that don't directly affect you yet, but might in the future. Let's say she's thinking about switching careers or making a financial decision. If she brings it to you, asks for your input, and genuinely wants to hear what you think, that's a sign she values your voice in her life. Term journey. She doesn't just see you as part of her now, but part of the road ahead. And it's not just about practical planning, it's emotional too. When a woman is in love, she considers how her choices might impact you, your peace, your comfort, your goals. She doesn't just ask what's best for her, she asks what's best for both of you. That's rare, that's intentional, that's love showing up in the form of shared vision. It's also worth noting that this inclusion happens even in small, everyday things, like grocery shopping. If she picks up your favorite snacks or remembers something you once said in passing, like a dish you loved or a movie you've wanted to see, it means she's thinking ahead with you in mind. She's not doing things solely for herself. She's considering your tastes, your habits, your preferences, because you've become part of her mental map. And the beautiful part is, when someone loves you, they don't have to try to include you in their future. It becomes automatic. She starts imagining birthdays, holidays, milestones with you. She might joke about growing old together or what your kids might look like. It's not a test. It's not pressure. It's her way of saying, I see you in my life, not just for now, but for what's coming next. But here's the thing. When it's real, it doesn't feel like she's trying to pull you into her future. It feels like you're already there. The conversations don't feel like wishful thinking. They feel like natural extensions of how things are already unfolding between you. And in that feeling, there's comfort, there's trust, there's clarity. Because love, real love, wants to build, not just bond. You'll also find that she's not afraid to ask the hard questions. When a woman's in love and thinking about the future with you, she wants to understand where you stand too. She'll want to know your views on family, faith, money, marriage, not because she's interrogating you, but because she's aligning herself with someone she wants to grow with. She's trying to see if the picture she's painting matches the one you're holding. And she's hoping it does. That's what love does. It stretches beyond the present moment and starts designing the future in soft, steady strokes. And when she starts doing that with you, when you become part of the canvas, part of the dream, that's when you know. Because someone who doesn't care about keeping you around doesn't plan around you, but someone who loves you starts making room for you in all the places she hasn't even reached yet. That's when it becomes clear she's not just sharing her time, she's sharing her vision. There's something incredibly powerful that happens when a woman is truly in love with you. She starts opening up in ways she never has before, not just through her actions or how she treats you, but through her vulnerability. When she's emotionally available, when she lets down those walls and shows you the parts of herself that are usually hidden, that's not just trust, that's love in motion. You'll notice it in the way she begins to share her thoughts, even the messy ones. Her fears, her insecurities, her doubts, things she might have kept to herself in the past. She starts offering up to you little by little, not because she's looking for validation, but because she feels safe with you, because she sees you not just as a partner, but as someone who can hold her truth without judgment. That kind of openness doesn't come easily. It takes courage. And when she's in love, she finds the strength to bring you into her inner world. It's easy to connect with someone on the surface, laugh together, go on dates, share interests. But when a woman is in love, the connection deepens. You'll see sides of her that very few people ever get to see. She might tell you about things from her past that shape her, stories that carry weight, things that made her strong, but also things that left scars. And if she cries in front of you, if she lets her voice crack, if she lets you see her in moments of raw emotion, that's not weakness. That's love revealing itself in its most honest form. And it goes both ways. When she loves you, she doesn't just reveal herself, she also wants to see you. Not just the version you show the world, but the full, unfiltered you. She wants to know what keeps you up at night, what motivates you, what makes you feel like you're not enough sometimes. And when she listens, she's not just hearing your words, she's holding them close. She's making room in her heart for all the parts of you, even the ones you're still figuring out yourself. That's the beauty of emotional intimacy. It doesn't rush. It doesn't demand perfection. It allows space for truth. And when she starts creating that space with you, when she leans into emotional closeness, instead of shying away from it, that's how you know she's not just involved, she's in love. You might also notice she starts dropping her guard. Maybe she used to be a little reserved, a little hesitant about showing affection or speaking from the heart. But with you, those walls come down. She might say things like, "I don't know why I'm telling you this," or "I've never said this to anyone before." And that's when you realize you're not just a part of her life, you're becoming a part of her soul. Her love is creating a space where truth feels welcome. And love, real love, doesn't need everything to be perfect. She's not trying to impress you or keep up appearances. She's okay with being seen on her bad days, when she's tired, when she's overwhelmed, when she's not feeling her best. Because being in love means trusting that your presence won't change based on the version of herself she presents. And when she believes that, she relaxes into the relationship in a way that's real, deep, and pure. You'll see it in the way she talks about emotions. Maybe she starts expressing what she needs instead of bottling it up. Maybe she tells you when something hurts, not to criticize you, but to build understanding. She's not silent when she's upset. She's willing to have the tough conversations because she knows love can't grow in silence. She wants the connection to be strong, honest, lasting. It's also in the quiet moments, when she just looks at you and there's nothing to say, but in that silence there's peace. Or when she holds your hand without saying a word, because that touch carries everything she feels. Those are the moments you'll remember, because those are the moments where love speaks loudest without needing volume. So when you see her allowing herself to be fully seen, messy, honest, imperfect, and she still chooses to keep showing up, keep sharing, keep being present with her whole heart, that's not just affection. That's not convenience. That's love. That's someone saying, "This is who I really am, and I trust you enough to let you see it." Because love doesn't hide behind perfection. It shows up in authenticity. One of the most overlooked but incredibly telling signs that a woman is in love with you is the way she starts paying attention to the little things. And when I say little things, I don't mean big romantic gestures or grand declarations. I'm talking about the things most people wouldn't notice, the quiet details, the subtle shifts, the everyday choices that reveal where her heart truly is. Because when a woman is in love, she becomes naturally tuned in to the fine print of who you are. She remembers things you said in passing, even if you forgot you mentioned them. Maybe weeks ago you told her about a childhood snack you haven't had in years, and out of nowhere she surprises you with it. Or maybe you casually mentioned that you've been stressed about a certain task, and the next day she sends you a thoughtful text just before your meeting, wishing you luck. That's not coincidence. That's care. That's a woman who's thinking about you even when you're not around. And that's love. It shows up in how she watches you, not in a suspicious way, but in a deeply observant one. She notices your habits, how you fidget when you're nervous, the way your tone changes when you're excited versus when you're drained. She can tell if something's bothering you before you even say a word. And sometimes she won't press because she respects your space, but you'll feel that quiet presence, that silent knowing, and it'll be comforting. That kind of awareness doesn't come from casual interest, it comes from emotional investment. Love also shows up in preparation. You might notice she starts planning around your preferences without even asking. If she knows you like your coffee a certain way, she remembers it. If you're picky about how your clothes are folded, she pays attention to that too. Again, not because she's trying to please you or earn points, but because it makes her happy to get it right for you. That joy she finds in making you feel seen, known, and understood, that's love in action. Even in conversation, it becomes clear. She asks follow-up questions about things you mentioned days ago. She checks in on how that interview went, how your friend is doing, how you're feeling after a long week. And the thing is, she's not just being polite. She genuinely cares. She remembers, because what matters to you has started to matter to her too. What's beautiful about this is that she may never even point these things out. She's not doing it to impress you. She's doing it because when love is real, it makes you curious. It makes you present. It makes you listen, not just to what someone says, but to who they are. So she listens, not just with her ears, but with her heart. You'll also start to notice how she personalizes things just for you. Whether it's giving you a gift that aligns perfectly with your hobbies, or sending you a meme that speaks to an inside joke only the two of you would understand, it's her way of saying, I see you, not just the surface version of you, but the layered, complex, real you. And when someone sees all that and still chooses to love deeper, that's rare. Even in conflict, this attention to detail shows up. She doesn't just react to what you say, she tries to understand what's underneath. She'll say things like, I noticed you got quiet after I said that. What's going on? Or, I know you don't usually get upset over things like this, so talk to me. That level of emotional intelligence, that willingness to read between the lines, it comes from someone who's paying close attention. And again, not because she's trying to manage you, but because she cares about your emotional reality. Sometimes love isn't loud. It's not always found in fireworks or dramatic moments. Sometimes it's quiet. It's in the way she gently fixes your collar before you walk out the door. It's in the way she texts you a reminder because she knows you forget things when you're busy. And it's in the way she laughs a little harder at your jokes. Not because they're always funny, but because she just loves that it's you saying them. These little things, they're never really little. They're fragments of affection. They're reflections of someone who's not just spending time with you, but who's actually paying attention to the person you are. And when a woman loves like that, you don't need to question her feelings because they'll show up in every detail, every gesture, every moment she chooses. To see you fully and clearly, that's when you understand. Real love is found in the details. One of the strongest signs that a woman is in love with you is the way she supports your growth. Not just who you are right now, but the person you're becoming. She sees your potential even when you doubt it yourself. She believes in the version of you that's still unfolding, and she's not trying to change you. She's trying to help you become. That's not about control, and it's definitely not about ego. That's love doing what love naturally does. It nurtures. When she's in love, you'll notice she takes an active interest in your goals. Whether you're trying to start a business, get back in shape, change careers, or even just build healthier habits, she's cheering for you. And not just with words. Her support is felt in her presence, in her encouragement, and in the way she gently challenges you to stay focused when you feel like giving up. It's that balance between holding space for where you are and holding a vision for where you're going. That's something only someone who truly cares can do. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean she agrees with everything you say or just nods along to make you feel good. Sometimes support comes through accountability. She might call you out when you're slacking or making excuses, not to tear you down, but because she wants more for you than you might be settling for in that moment. That's love with a spine. That's someone who's not just standing beside you, but standing for you. You'll feel the difference when she listens to your ideas, even the crazy ones. Maybe you're talking about a project that doesn't make sense to anyone else, but she leans in. She asks questions, she gets curious. She doesn't dismiss your ambition, just because it hasn't materialized yet. She knows that every dream starts as a whisper, and she wants to be the one who hears it first. That's not infatuation, that's investment. There's also the way she helps you grow emotionally. She's patient when you struggle to express yourself. She doesn't punish you for having flaws or moments of weakness. Instead, she invites you to go deeper. She wants to know what's underneath your reactions, your silence, your moods. She helps you feel safe enough to unpack the things you've kept locked up for years. And she doesn't run from the hard parts. She holds them with grace. That emotional safety, that's how you evolve. That's how you grow into a man who feels seen, not judged. Love like that doesn't push you toward perfection. It pushes you toward wholeness. And it's not loud or performative. She's not shouting her support for attention. She's quietly consistent. She shows up. She reminds you of who you are when you forget. She tells you the truth when no one else will. And sometimes she celebrates your small wins louder than you do. That's how you know it's real, when your progress means something to her, not because it benefits her, but because it fulfills you. You'll also notice that she encourages independence, not deep. She wants you to thrive on your own terms. She doesn't try to make everything about her. In fact, when a woman is truly in love, she'll push you to have a life beyond the relationship. She wants you to keep friendships, pursue passions, take risks. She understands that love isn't about shrinking into each other, but expanding beside each other. Real love gives freedom, not fences. Sometimes her support will look like silence, knowing when to give you space to figure things out on your own. Other times it looks like late night conversations when you're doubting everything. Or it's in the way she reminds you that your voice matters when the world tries to quiet you. She becomes a mirror, not the kind that just reflects what you want to see, but the kind that shows you who you really are, even when you forget. And here's the thing, you start to grow, not just because she's there, but because of how she's there. Her belief in you becomes something you carry. It strengthens you. It lifts you. It gives you something to rise into. That's not just a partner. That's a woman who loves you deeply. Because in the end, love isn't just about how someone feels about you. It's about how they help you feel about yourself. And when a woman loves you, she doesn't just stand beside your potential. She builds it with you. There's something profoundly beautiful about the way a woman begins to include you in her world when she's in love. And I don't just mean the visible parts, the dinners, the casual outings, or the occasional meet my friends event. I'm talking about how she slowly and intentionally starts weaving you into the fabric of her life. When a woman truly loves you, you stop being a visitor in her space, you become a part of it. She starts letting you into the places that matter to her. You'll notice that she wants to share the things that make her laugh, the little rituals she enjoys, the music she plays when she's cleaning or relaxing, even the way she talks to her dog or her favorite cousin. These are the soft corners of her life that most people don't get access to. But if she's in love with you, she wants you to know her world, not just see it from the outside. She includes you in her future. Even subtly. It may be something as simple as, we should go there sometime, or that could be fun for us next year. It's no longer just me and my plans. It slowly becomes we and our goals. It's in the language. It's in how she starts to picture you in places she used to imagine herself alone. That's not by accident. That's her way of saying, you belong here. And it's not just words, it's choices. Maybe she used to make certain decisions on her own, but now she checks in with you. Not because she needs permission, but because your opinion matters. Your presence carries weight. If she's considering a new apartment, a new job, or even something like a weekend plan, she thinks about how it affects you too. And that's because you're not just a chapter in her life anymore. You're part of the plot. You'll notice she wants you to know the people who matter to her, her close friends, her family, the people who've been with her through thick and thin. If she brings you into that circle, she's not just being polite. That's her saying, this man matters to me. Women don't do that lightly, because those relationships often hold history, loyalty, and deep connection. If she introduces you, especially if it's with care and pride, she's not just sharing her people with you, she's also letting them see how serious you are to her. There's also this quiet shift where she begins to make room for you, not just in her plans or her circle, but in her heart's routine. Maybe she used to unwind alone, and now she finds comfort in your presence. Or maybe she's rearranged parts of her life so there's space for the two of you to grow together. You'll feel it when she remembers what time your flight lands and makes time to call, or when she rearranges a busy day just to spend an hour with you. That's not convenience. That's intentional love. And don't mistake her independence for distance. A woman who truly loves you still values her space, but she no longer sees it as a place to keep you out of. She wants to integrate, not isolate. That means your hobbies start to interest her, not because she wants to take them over, but because they help her understand you better. She might not love every detail of your world, but she wants to be part of it. She's not standing at the door. She's walking in, ready to stay. And you'll know it when something happens in her life, big or small. And you are the first person she wants to talk to. Not just because you're around, but because you've become a safe space for her thoughts to land. You're not just someone she dates, you're someone she trusts. You're woven into her emotional life, into her routines, into the decisions and dreams that shape her every day. It's easy to miss this sign because it's not always loud, but it's powerful. When a woman starts merging her life with yours, not in a rushed or codependent way, but through small, meaningful actions, that's a woman who's in love. She's not testing the waters anymore. She's building something, and she wants you in it. Because when a woman includes you in her life with intention, with consistency, and with heart, she's not just sharing her world, she's offering you a place in it.